Um, I've had a lot of people ask about Tartaria. I'd never even heard of it, and I'm like, what is Tartaria? And everyone's like, it's this mud flood civilization. I'm like, I've never heard of it. And they keep asking, I'm like, I have no idea what it is.
It's called, say it, how do you say it again?
Tartaria.
I've
Because
never heard of it either.
I
Tartari.
that's why I thought like Eric would be a good one to talk about with this stuff. So
Okay. Let's see. So the question would be just tell us what this is, describe it.
where it is, what it was, and like when it, if it, and what, and everything, because I have no clue what it actually is.
Okay. I don't either. I've never heard of it, but let me see what he says.
All right.
So right away he's showing this what do I call this? It's almost like an underworld that almost seems like it has a weird negative connotation, but it doesn't. It's like it's a another realm of conscious creation, he says, like consciousness. Um, to describe what it looks like, there's a lot of like iridescent blues and like different hues of blue. It's a plane of existence, is what I'm seeing. It's a different plane of existence with um, almost like avatar type of beings. Like, do you remember the movie Avatar?
Mhm.
They don't quite look like that, but what is this word? Um, like exaggerated features, like different beings with exaggerated features. So I don't know what that means, but extremely like this plane, this realm functions purely on the flow of consciousness. Here, of course, we experience stop. Oh, it's making my ear ring. Holy shit. Um, he's saying like on here in the 3D, we experience constant stop mechanisms left and right every time we turn around because we are in the planes of like consciousness versus rational mind, like two
Mhm.
different planes of awareness. There's no stop mechanisms. It's pure, potent consciousness. So the ability to create here, it's almost like Atlantis. It's almost that feeling of like this utopia, like this place of heavenly existence where the intent and the experience is pure. Um, hold on one second. It's almost like beings come here. He's saying beings come here to um, like to remember their true nature or their true essence, like to remember God consciousness or God essence, like the oneness. Um, what is it? Omnipresent,
uh,
omnific, um, omnific,
I don't know.
omnificence. What? I can't say what he's saying.
I know the word you're talking about.
Okay. It's like people come here for that sort of like reminder. Um, but like the intellect, the cognition, the awareness here is intense. Like there's no, could you imagine, he says, a world of no question, like just knowing everything. Um, this is that type of awareness. Like there's no gaps. So go ahead.
So how does it, because I know sometimes it reaches into like down into the density that we're at. How is that why they keep finding like all this stuff underneath the ground, or is it just like an awareness that's kind of like expressed itself into our physical reality?
He's showing both. He's saying both ways. It's like it's both ways. An awareness that's expressing. It's like it can express itself to and through our reality, but it takes like an angelic type of energy,
Yeah.
um, like a lot of grace because that's the passageway. It's like the more, and this is a very generic way of explaining it, but he says like the more angelic one is in their energy, the easier they conduct the flow of energy.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that really answers your question, but he says it is like underworld that it's expressing itself, and certain people can attain awareness of it too, based on their their ease of connected awareness, or their super conscious levels of integration. He says this is also a place where like I guess you could say, if you can touch this consciousness, it's like rapid healing occurs. Or if you can integrate this energy, like the energy of this place, it's like rapid healing, because there's no ailment here. There's no stop mechanisms to the flow of energy, which here there is, which means we can manifest illness.
Yeah.
So there, everything's pure and in integrity. It's full, it's whole.
Mhm.
So the more we touch this form of consciousness, the quicker, easier, more miraculous we cause and experience healings. He says that you tap into, or you channel this energy when you work, when you do body work. So it's like it's funny, because it might be new to your conscious thinking mind, but it's not new to your essence, your soul. He says, he keeps using the word like it's like a utopia, but it's I mean, I can't even explain. It's like floating through the clouds. It feels so soft because there's no stop mechanism here.
So just to clarify, so moving past that one specific point, why does everyone keep interpreting it as disappearing because of a mud flood?
Say that again, as disappearing?
Why does everyone interpret like it disappearing from the world via a mud flood? I'm using the exact wording that they've actually, so.
So he's showing, this feels very metaphoric. This phrase that you said, disappearing from the world via mud flood. I don't feel like this is not a physical reference. He's saying this is a metaphor. The mud flood is he's showing like emotional debris, thought debris, like rationale. That's the mud. And the way that swirls through the collective, it doesn't disappear. Like, it's not that it goes away. It's just now it's like now there's more layers between you and the experience of it. To have awareness of it, you have to clear the mud. So it's not gone. It doesn't go anywhere. It's not a physical shift, like physically was here, now it's not. It's very much a metaphor, and it's almost like biblical. Eric is making me feel like this is like some sort of biblical reference, especially the metaphor part. And I guess part of it is to speak to, he says, how well you can hold on to that utopia during the mud flood, like during the uprising of all the things that come against that utopia, right? So like, here's a very generic way of saying that. How well can you hold on to your peace and grace, your state of that, in the face of fire, in the face of anxiety, in the face of fear and worry, blah, blah, blah. So he's saying it's a metaphor. It's another interpretation of, and in your words, he says, meaning like human words, not necessarily you, but it's another interpretation of heaven, like bliss, euphoria. But it's this is so weird, because he's talking, and this would be like a great episode for us to do sometime. He's saying, but like the thing is, like it's the funny dichotomy between, you can use the rational mind to think your way there. If you can do it like that, like his mindful intent, you can get there like that. Most people have too much debris going on up there. He says, or you sort of leave the mind altogether, drop into full body consciousness and access it that way. But it's not going outside yourself to access it. It's kind of like you're already there. You're just going beneath the layers to get back home, so to speak. So, um, but he's kind of like, don't fall for the idea it disappeared. It's not gone. It's not gone. Um, it can certainly vanish from viewpoint. He
Yeah.
goes, and you know as well as I do why that would happen. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
No, it'd be fun to just do like subjects like this, because I hear from a lot of people like they come in with a lot of conspiracy theories about things, and it's like, no, let's just nice clear, like this is what it is. This is actually what it is.
funny.
So
Yeah, he's saying Eric is talking, and he's just kind of saying like you have to be willing to look at things on a lot of levels of interpretation, like metaphor, symbolic, literal interpretation, because an immense, most things are immensely layered, he's saying. Um, so it's like just as soon as you think you have an understanding of something, there's another layer. There's another layer, he says. And he's kind of laughing about like this 3D realm, and he's saying, it's funny because these things come up. We meet these like pockets of resistance, and we think there's problems, but we're merely like working through our own like cause of separation. We're working through our own thoughts in like physical form or whatever. Um, so he says, oh, man, I miss channeling Eric. He goes, because he's so fun. He
he
goes,
really is.
he said, when you realize life is a game, like truly, you step back onto the court and you start playing. A lot of people want to sit on stands and talk shit about the game of life. He's like, or you get on the court and you play the game and you have fun. So it's like no matter what comes up in and around and through you, he's like, when you almost treat it as if it's a game, not dismissing like the importance of it, but then you stay in your creative, playful nature with it, and you stay active in your ability to participate and interact with it.